I landed on the Liverpool shore.
Hello, sorry about that. The computer crashed. I don't know if anybody's managed to join me in this one yet, but we will hopefully get you in here a sec. I have sent to Mark and Ruby, and hopefully they'll join me in a moment as well. Here's Mark.
Hi everyone. Don't you just love technology?
Yeah. I literally pressed go live and the computer just shut down. And here's Ruby. Right. Shall we start this again? Hello, everybody.
Okay.
Don't press the intro, for God's sake.
No, I'm not going to press any buttons. Right, I will press a button. I'll put these guys in the background. As you can see, we have Mark and Ruby assisting today.
Hello
And
everyone.
their systems have just been messed up as well, so they've got to catch up.
Go on.
And the half an hour we spent chatting and setting up, well, blow that out and we'll start again. Never mind. These things are all sent to try us.
It was my fault. Blame me.
Yeah, it's Mark's fault. Right. So today I'm going to be doing something a bit odd.
Never.
Just a little bit odd. I'm doing this in miniature. This is only a 6-inch long spindle. Because I'm trying a concept rather than actually aiming for a finished piece. And I'm going to turn a bowl with a spindle roughing gauge. Because, you know, why not? Go on, tell me why not, Mark. Go on, tell me.
Richard Raffin does it. It must be okay then. Because it's in spindle orientation.
Sorry. Obviously, I started at low speed and turned the speed up. Then everything crashed. So when you come back in on this, it's going straight to fast.
Right, I'll read out who's in.
Okay.
So, top of the list, we've got Jennifer's Crafting Creations, Lewis the Klondike Craftsman, Des Barnwell, Paul Houghton, the Griesby Turner, Copper Elwood Turning, Greg Alexander, Terry Bartlett, see you on Saturday, Terry. Amy DeAngelis, hello Amy. Trent Creek Wood Turner in Cornwall. That's Chris SG, hello Chris. Roger Kent, Chris Dodds, Sid's Repurposing. And I think I'm at the bottom of the list. If I missed you out, I do apologise.
Oh, Lewis has joined us as well.
Lewis was there from the start, yeah. Hi Lewis. You granddaddy yet? It's got to be getting close.
I don't think of him as being old enough to be a granddad.
Oh, he's ancient.
So I just got down to my last cut and I did it really slow, so a nice fine finish on there. And one of the problems I had with doing this was the measurements. And I've got here a center finding ruler, which is quite a handy little device.
They
It's
are.
got a center mark here. And then you've got to get the same measurement either side. That's my center.
Pete, do you want to just quickly go into OBS and untick? Because your camera keeps hunting, mate.
Oh, right.
Bear with us, folks. I hope everything goes all right, Lewis. Lewis is saying if the baby isn't here by Friday, they're going to induce.
Keep his hopes on until September or something. It'll be fine.
And
My
quick,
daughter refused to do that. So my granddaughter's birthday is in January, just after Christmas. And it's cold, wet, miserable. She can't have parties with her friends around in the garden. I told my daughter, keep your tights on till June, it'd be much better. And she wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
Just unreasonable, I think. Right, that should be all right on the camera now.
after 9 months of carrying someone, I'm quite sure she was happy to get rid of her. Ah,
I
Stephen
don't know.
the
She's a
Wood
lot more
Dude.
trouble now she's out.
Stephen the Wood Dude has joined us.
Hello,
Good
Stephen.
afternoon,
Stephen. Ward
And
Wilson's joined us.
I would.
A whole nother country.
Okay, so as my centre mark, there's a band I want to keep pretty much as is, fairly flat. Well, round but flat. And
Straight.
shouldn't knock the ends off of this.
Is this wood fairly wet?
Yeah, this is it's about 20% this wood.
Looks like it's cutting nice anyway.
yes, it is.
Can you just remind us, Pete, what wood it was? Did you say it was
It's a piece of ash,
a piece of ash? Okay.
but it's not
Robert
not the
Burke
normal
went in.
ash.
Hi, Robert.
This is somebody's garden tree. So it's a specimen European ash of some sort, but I'm not sure what.
So what you're trying to do is create a football right now.
Yeah, I'm going for a football-y shape. Now, this idea, somebody put it on Facebook of the basic shape. Somebody else made a comment which I thought, oh, that sounds interesting. So it's kind of inspired by multiple sources. Part of the idea came from Ruby. Shouldn't say that because she hasn't approved the idea of being used this way.
I didn't say a word, Pete.
Just the height of my tool rushed a bit, so I'll turn the lathe off. I know I should have turned it off when I moved it at all, but you know.
Yes, Lewis, definitely an American football, not a Canadian.
It's a rugby ball.
Looks like that side is a little bit straighter than the other side.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a bit. But that won't matter for my final project. But that's an advantage.
While I
I
think
have gone
about it, Pete, I'll just say, if you don't mind, about tonight.
Yeah.
No live for me tonight, folks. Sorry. I'm absolutely snowed under.
You're not busy working again.
I am busy working, properly working, yeah. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I've got 13 more oak bowls to core today. And then tomorrow I've got 50 crayon sticks to do. And then Thursday and Friday I'm teaching.
Good, that means you're going to stay out of trouble for a change.
I am. And I'm going to stay out of trouble because my beautiful girlfriend's buggered off to Spain and left me for a week. Just for a week.
Yeah, I spotted she's gone off again.
Yeah. Girls trip away. Poor old Benidorm.
Yeah, my heart bleeds for you.
Hey, mine doesn't. It's sunnier here than it is there.
Andy has joined us as well. Welcome, Andy.
Hi, Andy. He's Lucy's somewhere nearby.
Hi, Andy.
Yes, Lewis, they do seem to take more holidays than we do.
Some people do.
I
You
just
looking forward to? You looking forward to your holiday, Pete? The one
Yeah,
in June?
I'm starting my holiday down in Cornwall with you and Kim. Come back from Cornwall. The next day I'm going to be in Wales for a wedding.
you
We're
have
not
a,
staying overnight for that one because we've got then 2 days to get ready for our trip to Spain, which brings us back in July.
Excellent.
Amy has a question for you, Pete. Do you
Yeah.
have a favorite shape to make when making vases, boxes, etc.?
Yes and no. I tend to sort of meander through shapes quite randomly. I get fads. If I make a shape a lot, then I hate the shape, and I'll stop making it completely for ages. But I get fads of making different shapes, and the ones that I hate today, I'll start loving tomorrow.
Robert says you sound better, by the way, Pete. You feeling better?
I'm on antibiotics now, and it is making a difference.
And then Saturday, I'm off down to Plymouth Woodturners doing my tutor assessment certificate, so I will be able to assess tutors.
Hmm.
Woodoo says he's making art pieces all day today, walnut and aluminium. Photos by the weekend, hopefully. Sounds interesting.
Yes, for sure. Lewis said he went on a holiday once.
Yeah, just once.
Well, we don't get extended holidays like you do.
Right, this is a
Says the woman who goes to France 3 or 4 times a year. And,
I only
and
went for
Austria
2
and
weeks.
the UK.
No, those were business trips. They were all wood turning related.
You're so full of...
yeah, but we did try to get Ruby to stay until the end of June so she could feed Lola. But she said she wanted to go home to Canada for some reason.
Des says, you know, she's just barely started, but he needs to get back to work and he'll catch up later. See you later, Des.
Cheers, Des.
Is he doing his tutor assessment, Robert? So you'll be getting a red badge.
Hmm.
I've already got my red badge. Now I'm doing the
Well,
learning to become an assessor.
Lewis made a good point. I had to come back because otherwise I'd miss black fly season. And they do have to be fed.
But do they feed off of you?
Well, of course.
Oh, nice. Are they like horseflies?
No, they're very small and they get under your collar, they go up your sleeve, they get in your
Oh,
ears.
like midges.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have those in Scotland. Well, the
Yeah, we don't
Scottish
like
have
them
those in
much.
Scotland.
Well, I'm going to leave my centre line on. It's only faint, but as I said, this is a demo piece for learning a technique. So I would normally polish this up and wax it and all the rest of it, but being a demo piece, it doesn't really matter, so I'm not going to bother. So the next thing is to take it over to the bandsaw. Now I know how Mark's a bit of an old woman and he really panics when I use the bandsaw for some reason or another.
I can't think why.
So I've made a jig. Just keep Mark happy.
Hey, it's a V-block.
I can't see the screen, so I don't know if this is in.
Andy Valley Woodturner Bundy Rose asking, is the assessor badge pink and fluffy? No, we don't get a badge for being assessors. We get a clipboard.
And just to keep Mark really happy.
Wesley Hannah's just joined. Hi, Wesley.
Hi, Wesley.
Hi, Wes.
There you go, Mark. I'm not even going to hold it in the jig. I'm going to put tape on it. Make you happy?
Yeah. Static. Get on with it. Get on with it. Huh. Oh, you're going down. All right, going down that way. Okay. Oi, DeAngelis. Shut it.
I'm going to come back to the lathe just because the cameras are better over there. Not that one. That one. Right, so I've got two of these now. And I want to find the middle that way. And it caused me a problem. But I found a solution. If I just put some tape on it.
Wooddo says, can I just get my wood turning badges made on the internet? Do without all that turning malarkey.
Yeah.
No.
All you got to do is photocopy Terry and just print the badges off. It'd be fine. Okay, so I put some tape on there. If I just cut right on the edge.
I like that center line you have through it.
Yeah, as I said, if I'd have polished that properly, that line would obviously have been lost, so I'd have to re-establish that as well.
Hold on, this is gonna be one of those oh my god moments. I never
Well,
thought of that.
it was the second problem that made me think of this solution. I shouldn't put that down on shavings. That was silly.
That's dead clever.
What I do with my centre finder ruler, I had it in my hand just now, didn't I? I used it. I put it down somewhere.
Top of the lathe.
Behind the tailstock. Okay, so now put my centre finding ruler on that. Stick a pencil mark on it.
And stick it back on the piece of wood.
Put it back on here.
Genius.
Careful, Mark. You might get a swollen head.
Now go back over here. This might make you a bit seasick in a moment. I'm going to move the camera on live. So I got my drill on it, Mark?
Yeah. You move it up a little bit.
How's that?
That's better. Yeah. That's good. Just Terry, don't tell him about the secret numbers.
Well, if he tells, it won't be a secret anymore. And the purpose of this hole, Peter?
That's going on my chuck.
So it's a mortise.
Yep.
Change camera.
Yes, Lewis has made a good point. The camera on your bandsaw you'll have to put to the other side of the saw because the hand that holds the wood blocks us seeing what's happening.
Aha. Yeah, it's my mobile camera. It's not particularly
Ruby's
set up for bandsaw.
paraphrasing.
Did you
What
say
he
it,
actually
Ruby?
said was, your dainty little girl hands are blocking the view, Pete.
Ah, yeah. I do have a problem with my dainty little girl hands blocking other things.
People, you have to realize Pete's hands are about the size of my head.
Yeah, it's true.
Switch over a minute and show you.
Pete actually turns average size pieces of wood. He's got very big hands. Makes everything else look small.
Oh, he's still my favorite giant.
If I go to, you see that's not an ideal connection here because of the curve, but it's good enough for what I want to do. I'm not going to be doing a lot of cutting on this side. If I was doing a full-size version of this, then I would be more concerned about how I mount it. But I'm not concerned for this one.
Okay.
I say full-size, I would normally be going for probably about a 6 or 8 inch diameter log for this project. I'm going to sand that bandsaw marks off of that.
I agree, Lewis. It's the UK version of the friendly giant.
Whoops. That's just a bit of 120. That's all I'm going to do because that's all I need for now.
Yeah, you don't get that show, The Friendly Giant, do you?
We have a book called The Friendly Giant, written by Roald Dahl, BFG.
No, we have a television show that for kids that came on. It was all about the Friendly Giant. And that's the one Lewis is referring to.
All right.
Yeah, the BFG is a Roald Dahl book, and it's a friendly giant and some bad giants. Friendly giant gives children nice dreams. Bad giants eat children. Well,
Oh dear.
yeah, there are some children that need to be eaten, so
Lewis-
it's not necessarily a bad giant.
Lewis has said he's anticipating more tape in his life.
I could put some more tape on, but not going to.
I'm wondering if he isn't meaning tape for a hand.
And for what I want to do next, I can't go too deep with this bowl. It's more about appearance of a bowl than being a usable. Well, this is 2 inches wide. It's not usable for anything, but you get what I mean. Appearance matters.
I love turning completely useless bowls. One of my favourite things.
Too low now.
Hey? Amy's asking, where's Mike with all this tape? Mike's driving his bus.
I think Mike's out on his bus somewhere.
Robert says there's a film of the BFG.
There is.
Right, so this bit's inspired by Nick Agos' Viking Sunset Bowl. So I've got a little nub in the middle of there. Button, whatever you want to call it. And
Is that a cut line just to the right of the bowl part?
here,
No, on the other side.
It's pencil line.
yeah, there's a pencil line there, which I'll take off in a sec.
Okay.
Take my speed down a bit, I'm hand sanding.
Lewis says it does look like an eye.
That's the plan.
Dances with Aardvarks is in.
Hiya!
Can't remember his name. Is it Mike?
I'm not sure.
Yes, there's Mike. Hi, Mike.
Hi, Mike.
Don't forget it's got square edges on it.
Yeah.
Yes, when you have something like that, you do have to be careful where you put your hands.
I do need that edge of the bowl to be just curved in for the next bit to work. Well, not the next bit, the bit after that actually, but
Mike says he's taken a break from battling a really slightly too spalted piece of birch. Yeah, sometimes if you let it get too far along, it becomes a challenge.
I'm just going to take this middle bit up to 400. There's a reason for that.
Are you going to tell us the reason?
You'll find out in a bit.
Okay.
So no, I'm not going to tell you the reason. It's up to you to guess when I get there.
He's going to show us.
Okay, so this was on Facebook. Somebody did an elliptical bowl like this. And somebody else said, oh, that looks like an eye. And I thought, it does look like an eye. With a bit of work, it might even look even more like an eye. So it's me doing a bit of work. And the inspiration came from Nick Agar's Viking Sunset Bowl. And a bowl that Ruby did in France and showed me when she came over here how she did it. Wrong brush.
Well, as at the moment, Nick Agar and Glenn Lucas are in France at the school where I was.
All right. Now I am rubbish at painting, absolute rubbish. But I can find out I can get a reasonably straight line if I spin it. Not perfect straight, but reasonably straight.
Now the speed was fairly low on this.
Yeah, this is 400 RPM at the moment.
Okay, that keeps the paint from splattering outward.
Yeah. What I'm looking for is a crisp line rather than
A wobbly one.
my usual all over the place meandering.
Now, what paint was that, Pete?
This is intrinsic colours I'm using.
Okay,
So it's not paint, it's dye.
stain there.
Stain.
Is that honey?
This is honey. Sure. I will be going over the top of. With some flame. Now, when I did this earlier on, I was experimenting. I did it with acrylic. I wasn't overly happy with the way it worked. So this is the first time I've done it with these.
Yeah, I think
So,
if you're doing it with spinning, it's got to be looser. Yeah. Acrylic tends to be a bit gloopy, doesn't it?
But,
You didn't consider using an airbrush?
I considered it, but as I said, this is a miniature experiment piece at the moment. If I do a full-size piece, then I probably would use the airbrush. Just want to see if this idea works first.
Amy says, this is hypnotic. You are a chicken, Amy. You are a chicken. Look into the eye, only the eye. Nowhere else, only the eye. Look into the eye.
Just sort of dabbing the colours to sort of dry them a bit quicker because you're not here to watch paint dry. I'll stick the heat
Amazed
on
when
just
people watch.
last. Yeah, I still haven't dared to put my 6 hours of lacquer dry in yet. I did film 6 hours. The lathe running at 100 RPM with just some black lacquer on a piece. Because I went out to get something, got distracted, didn't come back to the workshop for 6 hours and the camera was still running.
Oh dear.
And I am considering one day putting it up on YouTube just for a laugh. A black circle going round.
I did that, didn't I? I did lacquer drying for 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Every now and then I'd just appear, spray some lacquer and walk off again. No editing. I think that piece that holds the record for the number of thumbs downs I've ever had on a video.
I can understand why.
Yeah.
Right, now we're going to run it a bit faster. My age isn't very good on that.
Yeah, but you'll
Probably
fix it now.
What I really need to do is import Ruby. Say, Ruby, can you just paint that line for me? Because I can't. And she just do
Okay.
it.
Yeah, I'll reach right in and
That
do
would be
it
good.
right now.
Brilliant. See you in a sec.
Trouble at mill. Benjamin's in.
Right.
Hello, Ben.
Hello,
I've
Ben.
got some calligraphy ink, gold in this case.
Ooh, posh.
I recognize that bottle.
Yeah, I had to go and buy a new one. Stuart's got mine.
Oh, right. That's right.
You've been bribing Stuart Mortimer again.
Yeah, Stuart was at the demo that Ruby did, and he likes the gold ink. He had a project in mind for it, so I gave it to him because he's going to do a better job with it than I am. Right, now my lathe is at 2,051 RPM. I'll be very careful with my knuckles. I'll load my paintbrush up till it's about to drip, and then just touch it there.
Okay, we couldn't quite see
Didn't work.
where you touched it because your hand was in the way.
Try and do that. And keep my knuckles out of the wood and keep my hand out of the way. So you're loading your brush up until it's about to drip off. And then just touch it there so that it gets picked up and thrown, hopefully. And no, it didn't work. I know what I'm going to do then. I'm going to put some sanding sealer on that. And I'm going to do it again. It's soaking in rather than flying out. You can see there's a gold ring around the middle.
Yeah.
But it's not flying.
Problem is that
What I want it to do.
the centre isn't spinning as fast as the outside edge, is it?
No.
No.
And although I've only gone shallow with this bowl, you're trying to flick it outwards, which is,
Can you go faster than what you're at?
yeah. We'll do that in a sec. Put some sanding sealer on us, try and stop it from soaking in to start with. If it doesn't work, I'll just do it on the outside.
Then it'll become eyelashes.
Yeah. And Ruby did this in a demo with an audience at 4 or 5 foot in front of her. It all had a nice black line up them when she finished.
You weren't supposed to tell that part.
But they didn't mind. Right, let's take it a little bit faster.
Go as fast as you can. Because as Mark said, the center part is going to be slower than the outer part.
Right, we're going at 3,000 RPM now.
That's done something.
No, it's done nothing. It's a
Oh,
little bit. It's a little bit here. But what we're going to do,
You've got to have quite a bit of paint on there when you do it.
yeah, I didn't have enough, I don't think.
it's starting to go.
Starting to go. No, this isn't working.
The black ink might work better.
Let's give that a go.
Might want to sand that gold off. I think the gold might be just a little bit too heavy.
Yeah, gold is heavy, isn't it? I'll use the cautious sandpaper.
Ben says, anyone else notice the Pete's logo looks a little like Sideshow Bob? Oh no, it's Andy has joined.
Oh no, it's
Oh
Andy.
no.
Okay, he's just going to start now, Andy.
Andy Bunny Rose having a go.
Bye, Andy.
Take
It
care.
doesn't work.
Cheers.
Robert Bortwood's asking, bigger brush to put more paint on?
That's a possibility. But you know, I've used a coarse sandpaper, so we're gonna have another go.
Give it a go.
And
I've
what are
also
you,
tapered the edge of my dish quite considerably.
okay, and what are you going to do different on this effort?
And
Amy's asking if a dish sponge would work, and not for this technique.
I'm not sure. Ruby's the person who asked. She's the expert at this stuff. I just play with paints and make a mess.
Nothing wrong with that. It brings out the kid in you. Andy's asking what wants to be brought up to speed as to what you're doing. Well, Andy, he started out by turning a football.
Rugby ball.
Then he cut it in half. And on one side, he used the pillar drill to put a mortise, which he's now mounted in the lathe. And then he's cut out this ball, and now he's coloring it with some different techniques. We're still experimenting on that part. Yes, that worked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More speed, I think. That's 3,200 at the moment. And I'm going to go in just at the edge of that centre bit. That flashed. Something happened. There we go.
Yeah, that came out nice.
I am going to try that with the gold over the top of that, just for experiment's sake.
Does the gold seem like it has the same viscosity as the
It does
black?
seem to be very similar, yeah.
Okay.
I think what might have happened is because I used the stains, although they were touch dry, they were still a bit clingy.
Yes.
So I've cut those off completely now, just on bare wood. No, the gold doesn't fly as well as the black.
No, it's the contrast that's making it.
It's right on the outside disc. No, it doesn't fly. It is moving. Is it? You can see about a quarter of an inch, but it's not going out the way the black does.
Now, if you used a watercolor
Paul Finley's just joined. Hi, Paul.
and did the inside blue or something, that would almost look like a blue eye.
Yeah.
And do the very center solid black.
Yeah, solid black in the center. I'm going to experiment with the depth of the bowl a bit because I want that to fly and I want it to be a bowl. But as I said, this was experimenting and playing. And I'm reasonably happy with what I've learned.
Steve Perkis has joined. He says, aye, aye. What you up to then?
Let's change it to... So there's the effect. I want to do this with more of a dish bowl. And I want to come in just off of that central button. Central button I can texture or decorate any way I want. That will be black. And just off of that I want to use the ink flying out to create some lines in my coloured background pupil, whether that's red, blue, whatever I choose. I'm going to need to experiment with the shape of the dish to try and get it to fly out while still being a pleasing to my eye bowl. But
Unintended.
yeah,
I
definitely.
think the gold didn't fly as far because it's metal based, the flakes that are in the pigment.
Yeah, I think it's got flakes in it which are preventing it from flying. But I do have some thinning medium which I might just experiment with some of that in the gold.
Do you have any
But
red
I
ink?
like the idea of the gold.
Do you have any red ink or blue ink?
I've got red ink. I've got. I didn't use ink for the colour because ink takes ages to dry.
You've moved off
So it's
camera.
fine on my own. I can
Go to your
use
right,
the ink. Sorry, I can use the ink. I can go and make a cup of coffee and play with the cat for ages, and come back and it's dry. But it's useless on a live. But inks for the colours are more vibrant. I should probably be using that when I do the final piece. But as I said, what I've got to do is experiment with this bowl shape that will be a bowl, but we'll still have the splatter effect.
What I would try on a piece would be do this very center solid black, not quite as wide out as you have it.
Yeah.
Do the next ring in a blue, let those dry. Then
Yeah.
come back on with this high speed and do the black splatter on the edge of the going into the blue.
Yes. Yeah, that would work.
Yeah. Good concept, though. Good concept.
It's a concept. It's fun to play with, and playing is what it's all about.
Yeah.
Right, I'm gonna bring the guys back in and see if there's any questions.
I
I think you've been answering them as you're going along, really.
Yeah. Well, thanks for coming in. Have you got that ink in red? Yes. I have quite a lot of this ink. I like it a lot.
Mark at Turn Again Grass has just joined. Hello, everyone. He says,
Hi,
what have I
Mark.
missed? Pretty much everything.
I've got a purple.
Purple would work.
Purple always works.
Marky's working on that splatter technique that I demonstrated at the club meeting.
So I've got
I think I'm gonna have to tap my mate Derek
blue,
up for some
purple,
inks.
a different shade of red,
Loads of different inks.
black, and the gold. So we've got those to play with, and I do like the inks. As I said, that they are brilliant, but they do take a long time to dry. You can put them on either as a stain, so you put them on without any sealer underneath it, and it will soak into the wood, or you can put it on as a paint over the top of sealer. Both work quite well, but in either case, because it's water-based ink, it doesn't dry within less than 25-30 minutes. So you've got to be patient with it. But the colours are stunning,
Yeah.
and
Vibrant and
well
very
worth it.
crisp, I would imagine.
Yes.
And that's what
Paul's
it's
just
all
come in. He's missed everything. Never mind, Paul. It'll be there to watch back.
Well, that's the important thing, is experimenting with things like this to see what effects things have.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
it.
I mean,
Just
that's
play with it.
that's part of the learning process as well.
As Ruby said when she was doing this and showing me, this will never be the same twice.
No.
What you're creating is a unique piece because the ink's going to fly in once and once only. Next time you do it, it'll be similar, but it'll be different.
Another idea, you could take that piece and, you know, the second ring from the center,
Yeah.
where
Excuse me.
the black is splattered.
Hmm.
You could take a pencil crayon and lightly go over that with, say, a blue or something, or a green, and the black would still show through.
Yes. I was seeing the granddaughter on Friday. She's got lots of pencil crayons. I could steal them.
Still some of her crayons, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's what grandkids are for.
Oh, yeah.
Andy's asking, what would you sound up to before you adding the ink?
400.
400. Needs a good surface to flow across.
There's a little patch of red. All these inks come from the range in the UK, by the way. And they are £2.99 a bottle, I think.
It's not bad. But they last forever as well, don't they?
But they do last a long time.
Yeah.
And the colours are just so bright.
Ian Leach has joined us. Welcome, Ian.
Hi, Ian.
This is on bare wood. I haven't sealed this piece after I used the
What's this
clean
pink?
sandpaper. This was purple.
Purple.
It's actually, if I put the purple over the top of the red, it might be.
Colours off on my monitor anyway.
Yeah.
It's a good idea to have a scrap of the wood that you're using that you could test out the colors on.
Well,
We're doing that now.
The nice thing about using this technique of making a bowl is I've got the other half. Because when I took it to the bandsaw and cut it in half, I've now got two to play with.
Okay, so you just have to put a mortise in the back end of
Mortise on
that.
it. If I was doing this full size, I wouldn't do it this way. If I was doing this full size, then I would probably put a worm screw in and cut a tenon on the back. Here's the blue. It's a bit mucky, that one. What blue it is.
Yeah, you'd want to put the blue
Cobalt blue.
in first and then splatter the black later.
Yeah. But yeah, I was just sort of getting the colours out and playing. But I do like the inks. They're fun to play with. And they are water, basically. They're the consistency of tap water. So if you want to put them through an airbrush, just chuck them in there and blow them on. So, job
Amy's got to
done.
go. See you later, Amy.
I think we all have to go, actually. We've done the hour. So thanks for coming over and joining us. And thank you to Mark and Ruby for coming in.
No
Sorry
problem.
about the false start with the computer crash, but these things happen.
Yeah, and hopefully somebody will go away and experiment with this and see what they come up with.
Yes. It is all about experimenting. I
I really like the whole idea.
like the idea. And I will play around with small pieces for a bit longer before I get the idea right in my head about how I'm going to put the paint on. Then I'll
Well,
go and
you
get a 6 or 7 inch diameter and do a full size piece.
don't
Which
necessarily have to have a bowl either. If you left it as just that flat surface and just did your eye shape moving out from the center of that.
yeah, but then I wouldn't hurt my knuckles.
Well,
You've got to think of these things.
that's true, but they're your knuckles, not mine. So
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's experimentation and it's fun to play. Thanks for coming in, everybody. Say goodbye, guys.
Bye, everyone.
bye, everyone.
Cheers.